Welcome back, one and all, to Dreamworks Dungeons and Dragons. Woo! I am your Dungeon Master. I am August Schmidt, and of course we have the Union with us tonight. In no particular order, as I see on my screen, Megamind, Jim Lake Jr., RJ, and Puss in Boots to be joining in just a bit. The Union, which coming off a resounding success. None of y'all died. It's gotta feel good. As well as, you were able to level up after taking out Morgana. Here in the caverns of Carlsbad, you destroyed Morgana Le Fay. Megamind, you trapped Jack Horner into now his spirit, and infinite magic is in that Tesseract now. Ad infinitum of magic that you have given to Merlin for safekeeping to give him just constant spell work. As well as we did some fun looty loots, getting some pretty cool items all around. The least of which, a 9th level spell scroll for Wish, and Jim Lake Jr., a ring that seems to have a Wish spell in it. Of course, not every victory is perfect. There were some bigger lingering wounds that definitely is that like you're having to rely a little bit on Merlin and some healers to help heal off of these heavy burns from some of those like near TPK moments. And of course, unfortunately, Morgana's son, Mordred, did have Death Ward on him. And so once he was kicked into the void, he has yet to be seen with the battle ended. Again, as far as Merlin could tell with some of Merlin's better magics, he's at least nowhere close at all. But could be out there somewhere. We will just have to wait and see. But yeah, insane stuff as coming through. You guys will all be converging. Again, you all did like split up just a little bit in that like raiding the castle, like getting all the stuff. Again, most of the monetary wealth is kind of probably going to go to like Arcadia and the people, just because you guys already have your accruing bank investment still in New York City.
Yes.
RJ just starts stealing millions of dollars.
Yeah.
just like.
But I definitely sent
I am embezzling as much as I can.
No.
You can't find me.
You can't find me. I'm putting the money.
The spell scroll for clone I sent away.
Yes, you
with
did.
That note to Minion. And then
yeah.
I was like, oh shoot. And then I call another one. And I'm like, also fix this. And I put the
yes.
put the gun inside. I don't have time. But it's like, he was there when I made it.
Yeah. Minion.
He can do it.
Yeah, it might take Minion longer than you, but like a much safer place to send it to Minion as well as a spell scroll clone of like, hey, we need a new D-Serum gun. Please help out. And sending that off to get fixed as well is a much smarter goal. Awesome, Megamind. I like that. Yeah, with that being said, again, the armies are in celebration. The people of Arcadia are truly just ecstatic because when you guys come out from the caverns for maybe the first time since the battle, out the front gates, through these mountain tunnels, the sky above you is now like unto the eye of a hurricane, slowly opening with sunlight streaming in midday. Gum-Gums are in full retreat off in the distance as fast as they can back to Shadowfell before they are destroyed into stone in Daylight's cursed touch for them. And also, best part, Jim, Claire and Toby are both alive, having also full died, but thanks to some clutch revivifies with that little battery-powered magic, your friends are alive. RJ, you've got some solid loot in the Pringle can of holding. Megamind, you now not only have contingencies, but some solid plans for everything you need. And even Puss in Boots walked away with some solid stuff, and Puss in Boots' friends are back. With Jack Horner now well taken care of, finally. He has been truly...
Get the crystal wet.
So I think probably where we'll begin is with you guys meeting back up. Do you have any thoughts? I know, because it was one of the bigger things is the Wish Scroll and Wish Spell for RJ and Jim. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? And of course, you don't have to act on it now. Like, you can use them whenever you want. But would you like to do anything with it, or are those things you still want to like either talk to other PCs or NPCs about before like really figuring out what to do?
I'm not sure yet.
No worries.
I have a thought.
Yeah.
That I probably should have texted and talked to you about prior to the session, but it's been crazy.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So, my thought is, okay, first of all, I want to double check. How old did we put Jim in this timeline?
I think
How old are they?
now, Jim, Claire, and Toby, you're all like seniors in high school. Because I think it's that like, or at least like probably that like 18, 19 range from when high
That's
school.
kind of what I was thinking.
Like senior year got interrupted by the end of the world, and you've been out for a couple months. So
Yeah.
around that time.
Yeah. Cool. And I just wanted to double check because this would be kind of awkward if we were all still 16.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it.
Jim would like to use the ring to propose to Claire, but I don't think he wants to use the wish spell yet. See, the idea that I'm having is that he is hoping he knows he's more useful as a troll, and so he wants to stay as a troll till the world is safe, and then come back and they can use the wish spell to turn him human again, or something, so that they can have a life together.
Clever.
And
at
that point they'll get married and they'll be able to,
It's literally keeping.
It's
It's a proposal with the promise of like, and this is for when I come back, because then I could become human again. That's pretty clever. Yeah.
I'll be human again.
I'll be human. We were all thinking it, Shane. Don't worry. I was sitting here like, I don't know if I should. Yeah. I like it. Yeah, no worries, because again, you have access to that, and especially for Jim, that's when you can start maybe getting a little ready of like, maybe look for a little box, figure something out. That's pretty clever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just like before we leave, because I don't know when we're coming back to Arcadia, so it might be a little bit rushed, but like, and we don't have to roleplay it out. That's Jim's plan for.
You're good.
the
Yeah.
ring. Maybe honestly, what I thought would be super cool is if he can like, wish to be able to switch between his troll and human forms at will, because that'd be sick, and then he'd still have all the perks to
You
fight
become
the
a
big
were
bad,
troll.
but, I mean,
Yeah.
sure.
Well, I think so.
You could wish that both you and Claire and Toby are were trolls.
I mean, I could.
That's possible. I like it.
But-
And, and at the end of the day, Jim, if you want to just give the ring to Claire as that, like, hey, we can use it if we need it, or give you time, that's also okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I want to do, is just at some point before we leave, Jim is going to propose to Claire and give her the promise, so when he comes back, they can use the wish and build a life together.
I like it.
It seems in character.
Then Jim, with that idea in mind, that ring just kind of sitting in your pocket, you guys would be greeted. You would notice Blinky and Arg are actually hanging back in the caves. Again, your friends are still technically trolls and cannot go in sunlight. So for Jim Lake Jr., RJ, Megamind, Blinky and Arg give you all hugs, but you see Blinky goes, "Well done, heroes of the Union! Our battles will go down in legends! We will meet you back in Troll Market, as we may take the underground routes back home, rather than risk our deaths!" You see Arg is giving each one of you those big, like, troll hugs where your whole body is just, like, encompassed. And especially when he gets to, like, Megamind, just like, good blue friend.
Lost you.
Crunch.
Oh, now you're back.
Oh, there we go. I'm back. Arg gives all these big hugs. RJ, he gives you a little hug and just, glad I not eat, and pats you on the head, puts you down.
Eat your big guy.
And that's what you call a pet.
That's what you call a pet. Pets are fun things you don't eat. With that, Arg and Blinky roll off back into the tunnels to get back to Troll Market. But for the rest of you, you can now head back overland to Arcadia. Merlin did use up all his big spells, teleporting everyone here. But you're noticing, like, the people in Chickenborn don't have any qualms walking back to Arcadia. It's like, yeah, it's a couple hours to walk, but, like, apparently it's middle of the day and everyone's so hopped up on adrenaline and joy. It's that, like, yeah, we can walk home. We're not going to complain.
It's like this is our first walk in the sunlight for, like,
months. Yeah, I would say with the sunlight, a lot of Arcadians are really pale, that malnourished vitamin D deficiency. Like, everyone just looks sickly, honestly.
I just walked up like, oh, Claire, you look terrible.
You see, she looks at you like, so you're a talking raccoon.
I'm actually a chicken. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, chicken raccoon man. Kind of gives you that, like, one finger handshake with the little raccoon paw, just like shake your hand. I guess you're all right. Thanks for helping me back there.
Glad you're alive.
You see, as you're walking, Megamind, Toby, the smaller kid, just in that full plate armor Warhammer, is like still very much like, so, like, are you an alien? Can you read my mind? What am I thinking of right now? Do you have a spaceship? If you had a spaceship, could I take a ride in it? Am I allowed to take a ride in it? Is there a difference between alien junk and human junk? Oh, also, yes.
Yes, I'm an alien. I did have a ship. It broke. I can't ride in it right now, so that is the answer to all the spaceship-related questions. It broke, so I can't use it. Metro Man, who you might have heard of, is also an alien. His ship ran into mine, which landed me in prison. But that's a whole nother story. And I told you you could do it, and you did. And I could read your mind, but do you want me to?
See Toby, like, processing all this, like, whoa. No, it's cool. Wow. Just taking all this new information in. Yeah, Toby and Claire also leveled up a little bit. They're now a bit higher stat block NPCs. They're looking great. Heading back to our Arcadia feels great. Again, sunlight feels nice. It's a beautiful day in Southern California. The air is already warming up thanks to the clouds parting. And just about nightfall, after many hours of walking, talking, the Chickenborn are already clucking songs in battle victory. The Arcadians are all just exhausted but happy to be home. You all find yourselves back towards the entrance of Arcadia. What is rather nice, of course, is the clouds have been disappearing much faster than they were forming over. Again, the natural weather patterns don't like magical darkness, believe it or not. So you would notice that, let alone there are no gum-gums obviously out and about, the large trolls, the ones the size of mountains, seemed to have disappeared. That although the storm is gone, they may have still been fast enough to get back to Shadowfell in some capacity or another. To which you guys will hear everyone currently is still heading back to the Arcadia High Gymnasium to rest up, just because it's that, like, there could still be danger out there. Like, yeah, the gum-gums are gone, but, like, if there's still some people or trolls hiding in, like, shops or the sewers, like, just to be safe. But we head back in. Is there something... does anyone want to do anything before we take a long rest back at the gymnasium? Any things to, like, either say or do or look for?
Bring my car.
Yes. Megamind, you hop down to Troll Market. Toby will go with you since he has one of the keystones to get you in. And you get the invisible car back up.
I'll say, I don't have a spaceship right now, but
yeah,
I have an invisible car, and I open the door for him.
What? This dude loses his mind, just like pulling out, like, you have an invisible car? That's amazing. Is it technology or is it alien magic? Do you have cup holders or are they invisible cup holders? Like, just
both. All of the above. Get in, let's go.
Get in, loser. We're going driving. Megamind, you pull the invisible car up to Arcadia High. Get that all taken care of.
For a joyride.
Yes, RJ.
This Strickler guy, he looks like he might have some magic items on him.
Yeah, he might.
I would like to try to steal from him using my invisibility and my sleight of hand.
Okay, I'll allow it. Go ahead. Yeah, if you want to ring invisibility, give me a advantaged sleight of. Actually, first give me an advantage stealth, if you would be so kind.
Okay, so let's see, stealth with advantage is a nat 13, making that a 21.
Okay.
My first sleight of hand was a 25.
Solid.
So yeah, 25.
25. You go in, slipping into Strickler's pockets. You don't find too much. Eventually, you find, kept behind, like how some people will put a gun into their waistband, you find a very, like, intricate dagger, like curved handle blade behind him. You do find a wallet, which contains, like, driver's license, passport, and what looks to be about, like, what we would consider about, like, $40 in cash. Again, Arcadia is like some other American cities. They use paper bills instead of gold all the time, so it's like, it's helpful but not great. Also on Strickler, you would find one of the keystones to Troll Market. These keystones are kind of like small stone handle, but like kind of beautiful orange ombre to red crystal, that the magic of it is enough that when making an archway or a circle upon a wall or ground opens up pathways into Troll Market and what we could also call, you know, the Underdark, or the sewers, right? It's what Strickler used to help get you guys to the castle. And so you find those, and this might also be because Strickler, when you guys got back, he may have put stuff away, but that's what he had on him currently.
Okay. Well, I now have a keystone to Troll Market.
Yes, you do. I will actually let you know, RJ, just because I think it's cool. Your stealth was still needed, as Strickler actually does have a form of true sight with a bit of pact magic he had going on, but didn't see you anyway. So it's like later on, you like walking around invisible, you like your passive is like, oh, Strickler can see me invisible, but you still stealthed well enough that he couldn't see you. Pretty fun there.
Let me add that to my possession. Something identified. Thing.
Yes. Yes.
So, who you can identify?
Oh yeah.
I think Claire should still have identify. I'm just double checking.
We haven't rested yet, have we?
No, yeah. Yes, because I realized Claire has identified, but she's out of spell slots right now. Yeah, because this was, Alicia, just for that, like, before you guys take the long rest back at the high school, like, any last, like, quick, and so, like, Megamind was grabbing the invisible car, RJ did a quick pat down of Strickler, I'm trying to think, who else would have identify? I think Merlin's got it.
How do I add stuff to my inventory? So it says other possessions here, and I've typed things out before in it, but now when I go to manage inventory, I don't seem to be able to put stuff there.
Interesting. Let me take a check.
Maybe if I go to add custom item? No.
Possible.
Because it's like under my attunement, there's items requiring attunement, and then other possessions.
Other possessions. If I'm noticing, I'm able to click. I'm able to add it. Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, you're good. So I double checked. Yes, Merlin had identified because he was the one that like you guys could bring stuff to. But RJ, you would notice, and eventually, Merlin's currently not here. I mean, now, to be fair, Merlin always has been, he kind of does his own thing even before the battle. But I think you would just be aware of, like, hey, we all came back. Merlin was a part of the group back to Arcadia. It's not like he stayed behind. But eventually, as you all returned, Merlin doesn't seem to be among the final revelry. You know, as people eating the last of the soups, eating, drinking and partying this, like, before going to bed, Merlin seems to not be around currently.
He is no longer among us.
He is not among us.
Dun, dun, dun. Hey, Jim, check your amulet. Ask him if he's kidnapped or if he just went his own way.
I'll do that.
Or we can just not care about him. The dude has infinite magic now. Like, he's probably the big bad.
On the astral plane.
He's the big bad. I'm convinced.
Unfortunately, he's not on the astral plane as Arthur has his cloak of astral travel. He stole that from Merlin, long story short. I think, Jim, you can give a...
Be like, you good?
You get back just a quick, I'll be there momentarily, tying up loose ends.
Maybe that means he's blowing a hole in a certain flying boy.
Space-time continuum being disrupted. In which case, though, gang, go ahead, click the long rest button, well earned.
Yeah.
Yeah, having now leveled up, feeling much better. As you do so, ooh, you love to see it. You guys, I will say, will have a tad bit of interesting dreams. Not nightmares. Not nightmares to the effect of having, that going on, but as you take your rest, your body's just truly shaking with exhaustion. Again, Jim Lake Jr., you're working with those points of exhaustion due to red starlight. The rest of you just 0 hit points and $0 and all that going on, like trying your best just to rest. Megamind, your mind is filled with visions of flying people moving to and fro, lifting buildings and carrying metal pipes every which way. At one point, the people become chickens, who then become yourself, all Megaminds, who then turn back into one giant looming figure of Metro Man. That giant, maybe it was just your perception back in your schoolyard, but just as he used to be, that big grin, this dominating, looming shadow in your mind. And you find your dreams then slip away. RJ.
Most accurate
dream, yeah. RJ, your dreams are somewhat similar as you find yourself running from cul-de-sac to cul-de-sac, hedge to trees to rivers. You see animals moving shapes in the past around you, and you hear whispers. And as you focus, the whispers seem to simply say, RJ, RJ, why? Finally, Jim Lake Jr., you are in Morgana's cavern. You see the walls streaked with gum stone, blood, fungi, like just like that post-battle when everything was just so terrible. Standing here alone, you do hear a singular voice, and you will recognize it is pitch black.
Right.
Turning, you see Pitch is sitting on the now vacant crystal throne, clapping. Well done, Troll Hunter. Oh, she was such a nuisance. Good on you.
Thanks.
Doom the world again. Again. For the third time.
See, Pitch shows he kind of like whisks, and in that like you're looking at him and then like magic goes in front of your eyes and you look and he has suddenly appeared behind you. Oh, wonderful performance, wonderful. You see, and you watch as his form kind of shifts a bit. He slinks back into the wall against your own shadow and kind of mimics you in that Peter Pan shadow way. I was watching your performance. Truly wonderful. But, and you see as he kind of slinks back out, I would be careful, you know. You've got some powerful people that want you there, Troll Hunter.
Want me where?
Oh, you see he taps at his chest where you feel kind of like the amulet of Merlin sitting on your armor. Well, they want you back to break that seal, of course. But, you know, should you ever find yourself in insurmountable odds, just remember I can help you out.
I'm gonna give him a side eye.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
As Pitch just kind of smiles, just think about it. Remember, I only have everyone's best interests at heart, don't I? And of course...
World.
Oh, no. I don't need world domination. I'm not powerful enough to stand up to my uncles. But we could benefit greatly. And you see Pitch kind of waves his hand, and your dream becomes then, Jim, the like day back when you first found the amulet. You have that dream of picking up, seeing your life changing around you, as you all will awaken having fully long rested. And Jim, now points of exhaustion gone. Again, Merlin and Blinky help give you one restoration, but the long rest got rid of the other, so now you're also back up to full health again. Feels good.
So,
Wait, how did Pitch even find me? Because I'm supposed to be unfindable.
Correct.
don't worry about it.
I'm worried about it.
Don't worry about it.
I am
I
aware.
mean,
We won the game.
did you
We
tell
won the
us
game.
that he found us?
Well, Pitch just said he was watching. And he he gave me a dream. He knows where we are. And
Well-
kind of the whole point of those amulets was so that he wouldn't know where we are.
Yeah, but if he was already observing the exact area we were in when we decided to walk into his field of vision.
It's the equivalent.
Yeah. I see that.
Shane
So he
has
knows
picked
where
up.
we are because he locked eyes on us.
Shane has
Probably.
picked up on why I gave you the specific dream of being back in Morgana's room. He didn't give you a dream of you guys at Arcadia High. It's that, and if you remember, RJ had heard from Morgana that Pitch might be there any day now.
Right.
You guys may have just crossed paths. Pitch just was watching maybe a little bit of the battle.
So he's probably close by to the point where we need to lose him again in order for us to be no longer seen by him. So
Yeah,
Merlin might have to teleport us elsewhere if Merlin's around, but if he's not, then we just gotta book it.
Hop in the
So,
multiple car and
Hear me out, guys. I used my wish spell to give me a 24 in strength.
What will that do?
It would make me so cool.
Just a raccoon punching a dude in the face.
RJ would have what, a +8?
That would be disgusting.
I love that. Actually.
In other news, our original quest still hasn't been completed, aka the trowel.
It's true. Because the trowel is that, like, very fresh, clean wish that was the initial goal of, if we can get that trowel, use it to help right some bigger wrongs, so to speak, in the world. Was kind of the idea of the apocalypse is coming, and this is a great weapon/item to prevent it.
Right. Well, and doesn't accumulate, isn't it part of a set of items that if we accumulate, like,
No.
have some kind of...
They were talking about the little piece of the sword. You were...
Oh. Well, I just thought there were, like, a whole bunch of items that were mentioned in connection with the
So-
weapons, and that the trowel was one of those items.
Oh,
The
maybe-
trowel was just an item in the book that could do legendary things. There was also the tear in Egypt. There was the beast, which is Waldo / Cain, which is hiding somewhere, which is... Were you not here for that?
Don't ask questions.
Don't ask questions,
We
just accept it.
discovered that the beast in the book was Waldo later on,
So,
which is also Cain.
okay. Random out-of-game moment. My sister found an audiobook version of Where's Waldo?
What?
And literally, it's just the guy reading the descriptions of everyone on the page, and like...
Until he says Waldo.
Green dress. Waldo. A man in a tall black hat.
I found him!
I thought those were like made up memes. That's even better that you can do
that's
that.
a real thing.
I want to
Anyway.
listen now. I love it. Yeah, anyway.
But there was also that. Then there were like 12 weapons of power or something. Or was it like 8?
12, yes.
Yeah, there were 12 weapons of power, of like extreme power, and I think your sword is one of them.
Your sword is not one of those 12, actually.
So then there are 12 weapons that are stronger than your sword, kind of just laying around the world, which we could find.
We should definitely...
But we don't have any clues as to where those are. There was a list of...
Here.
Ooh!
Look at magic items and see what I want.
Yeah, well, Blinky and Strickler are historians. I wonder if they'd know something, because they've been around for thousands of years.
We could probably see if they have copies of that book, or if they have other books.
Nowhere to copy.
True. I should have checked Morgana's place for books, but
I would actually say you did notice beyond spell scrolls, there was a suspicious lack of books. Or shall we say, like, scrolls, books, tomes, like, tablets.
She doesn't know how to read.
Gosh, you couldn't even read and we beat you. Yeah, no, yeah, that was one of the few things I made a point to point out. There didn't seem to be a library there, or rather the conventional, what you would assume a powerful archfey sorceress should have.
Yeah, which says, I think maybe that was not her
I'll
home
be right
base
back.
then. Was that a place she took over to create the Eternal Light?
kind of. It's more like she moved in, so to speak.
Where was she in the show? Did she have like a house?
No, so she was frozen in a crystal, like
Loser.
you know, dormant for like centuries, and then she burst out and she was like, "Ha! Sucks to suck, everyone! I'm back!" and made the eternal night.
She was given the old mosquito Jurassic Park treatment.
The old razzle dazzle.
Yep.
Well, then I guess she just didn't like books. But yeah, Blinky and Strickler might have some information or like libraries that we could find in the Underdark or other places that'll have some important information about big bads or locations of powerful items.
Hello, Daddy.
I could wish for the deck of many things.
You want to come say hi?
Dude, you're like now just moving through and being like, all right, what would be the biggest like worst item to introduce to the campaign?
I feel like he's just like saying random things and like looking up for your reaction to see which one is
I know.
gets the biggest rise.
I'm like, and I'm trying very hard to like just do nothing, just like nah.
A wand of infinite fireballs.
Those are actually like solid items. I've seen those in some campaigns. So yeah, it's you could head to Blinky or Strickler, maybe get some like, hey, do you have either this book or information on it? You could try to talk to Merlin again, see if he's around yet. Get some more information from him. What would be kind of like either first place to go, shall we say?
I mean, since the necklace is just right there, we could just pop a question out of just like, hey, we got looking for information on this book or books similar. Would you know of any around? Kind of wait back to hear from him while we head towards Strickler, who would also be the next closest, and then kind of work our way.
Work your way down. So yeah, Merlin, because it's easy with the amulet, then Strickler, then Blinky. Yeah. Cool. You guys call out to Merlin. As you do so, immediately, though, you hear, I'm back, what's up? And Merlin is standing behind you guys, having teleported back to you.
Oh, try to steal him. Just kidding.
Ah! It's fireball!
We found a wizard who lives in a tower over in the Arctic area who had this book called, and then I'd say the book name because Shane has forgot it.
I have the note. It's called Magic Around the World.
And it gave us some information on some powerful items and where to find them. We are looking for another copy of this book because the old man was stingy with it and hid some things inside of it. A copy of this book, books similar or leads to the things in this book so that we can get more powerful, so that we can not get blown up.
You see, Merlin kind of goes, there's a wizard in the frozen waste, but you said he. Are you sure you didn't mean she?
It was an old man, but it could have been a she disguised as an old man.
It is 2023. I didn't ask.
You see, Merlin, hey, no, you're right. I shouldn't assume either. No, but I mean, I've yet to hear of a wizard. There is an archmage. She is quite. I would assume you would have spoken with her, though. I've yet to hear of an old man.
Wizard.
He was more of a collector of magical items.
Ow.
Tribe of
I stole several rings from him.
Ooh, good. Steal rings from wizards. They usually have cool stuff in them.
Can I try to steal from Merlin then?
Go for it, yeah. Make me a stealth check, just to like, whoop.
He's like, yes, do that.
Always steal. Yeah.
That's a 12.
You see, you go in, Merlin, like, noble effort, like, polymorphs you into a chicken and just, like, then puts you back, then just, like, lets the polymorph fade, just like, Noble effort, but remember, when you steal from a wizard, you better come prepared.
Do you have true polymorph?
See, Merlin...
And can you make me a gold dragon?
Yes, I have promised never to true polymorph people. There are a certain race of creatures in the world that are very mad at me after I made them into something and they swore vengeance on me. It's a long story. I've sworn off...
Man.
I can't imagine how that must feel. That's gotta be crazy.
Exactly! Thank you for being so empathetic, Jim. And I'm so glad that you know I understand nothing about sarcasm. Now, you were talking about magic around the world.
Yes.
And you see, Merlin will offer just like, he'll hold out his hand to like, take the book if you're willing.
Yeah.
He starts looking through it. Yes, oh, this is an old book. I haven't seen magic around the world in the past, 400 or 500 years. Ah. And you see, he pulls out the page with the Beast of the Apocalypse. Yes, this is changed. You can tell when books change with magic, they are a slight difference. You can tell. And you actually see, when Merlin points out to you, the font is ever so slightly different. Like, even though it's a script, the font has changed. He's like, when magics affect major things like books, it's the quickest way you can tell something has changed in our world, because you cannot always affect books at the same time. If you control F on a Word document that's been written over many hundred years, the font you change will be different if you're only looking at one different page. So whoever changed this did not take into account the many copies of this book.
Yes. So we are looking for, basically, information on things inside the book, of, like, where to find more items.
Yes.
Where to find books similar to this to give us leads to other items that are also of the same caliber. Or just books that give us information on how to defeat, per se, big, scary, annoying... stealing kind of dark beings that like to scare children in their dreams.
No.
Yes. Well, if you're talking about information about these books, I may have owned a book like this at one point, but I can't remember if I lent it out over the years. In fact, it's been a while since I've really looked at my manhole back in far, far away, and so anything could be in there. I do know, though...
Ooh.
Whenever I need books, I go to the old folk. You see again, this book, like I said, 400 or 500 years old. That's the last time it was in print. Meaning, you should search for peoples who were alive at that time. Now, unfortunately, some of the older races, like, let's see, the oldest mortal race, I believe, on the plane of Dremor right now would be the elves. The elves are... Well, on this continent, in the far, far north, Xiofen, up in the, Arctic? I can't remember, wait, which one's the one that goes down? Arctic region, yes, upward. The elves, the Isis elves, they live thousands of years. If anyone knows about a book like that, they would, and they would probably be the ones to have copies. Elves love collecting things. They're a bit of a hoarder nation. Again, when you live so long, they just keep taking things. Not quite unlike the small cat-raccoon thing here. Yes, imagine him, but living for 400 years. He'll have a lot of stuff.
Ooh.
You see, the Merlin goes...
That makes sense.
But with these items, they're pretty cool. No, yes, I see what you're saying. I've heard, and you see he points at the tier on one of those pages, this item is in the wind. I know it was taken by a powerful, dark man, but no one has seen him in months. The beast, of course, is... no one's going to find him until he wants to be found, in my opinion.
Yes. We've gained as much information as we can about him through you and
yes.
Our heavenly friend.
Of course. And of course the 12 weapons. Royal gifts, truly. They come from above. Yes. I remember when they were given. It was a wonderful birthday party. But of course, you have to have a big one if you're making up for 12. But that was 1,000.
I want that kind of birthday party.
Oh, it was the best party. I remember I was baked into a cake. I cast Reduce on myself and became a tiny little man inside of a cake. And I thought, aha, this is going to be a great day. Except I didn't pick the cake. You know when you have a party, you have the main cake and then you have the side cake for people to eat? I didn't know people weren't going to eat the side cake. So I was in that cake for almost 28 days waiting for them to cut it. I digress. You speak of the weapons, though. These weapons, they're powerful, but if I remember, they've got a bit of a caveat. You see, and you kind of, he points to one of those sketch symbols of what could be like maybe it's a scythe or a khopesh kind of curved weapon. The weapons were gifts, and with the gifts came a blessing, or one could say curse. They can only ever be wielded by a member of the lineage of that person. So think like one of the races that they're not all made equal. Some say it was to keep so that one of the 12 could not take the other 11. Some say it was just because they wanted to feel unique. Some say there was a grander purpose, but again, I was inside a cake at the time. I didn't hear a lot of what was going on at the party.
Did that come about in Israel?
Yes, back in Israel, in the old day. Back, what was his name? His name was Jacob. Yes.
I know that Bible story.
What's a Bible?
I don't know.
Yes, but yes, it's one of those old it's where we get to the religion of Zephim. It's that family was really big, and they were gifted these 12 items, and each more powerful and cool. Yes, or at least I assume so. Again, only audio, no visual. So yes, they're interesting. But finding them would be quite difficult. I would assume they're scattered to the wind these days. This was hundreds of, a good 1,000 years ago. But, no, I would assume best bet is, of course, and you see he gets to the page with the trowel. The trowel is in the north. It's up here, as you found out. And the elves are north, so there's 2 for 1. As well as 3 for 1, the elves have the best wine.
All right. They might also have just one of these items or weapons.
They could. They hoard. They really do. They're hoarders.
Cool.
I imagine every elf home has like pathways.
Mm-hmm.
There's just piled up.
Like, all very nice, but think like old folks' homes where, like, when you're in your 80s, 90s, and every shelf has like 20 different knickknacks and picture frames and books, like. Because you amass things over life. But for an elf, it's 20 times worse. Because, like, hey, when I was only 205, I was really into Tamagotchi. So here's my Tamagotchi collection, right?
Yeah, we're going to need a lot of identify spells.
Just identify.
A lot of rings of bag of folding.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of bags holding. We're going to rob the elves, gang.
Archie, I'm going to live here. This is my home now.
All right, I'm out.
The bag of holding, I'm stealing the whole country.
I could wish to be the ruler of the elves.
Oh, please don't. That would wreck my, like, world. I can't have the elven nation be in charge by a raccoon.
That guy, we can just...
It's the raccoon.
You're a part of the Union now.
Yeah. The elves have entered the Union.
I'm just sitting here trying to think what to use my wish spell on. I haven't been paying attention at all.
You're good. Basically, Merlin's just giving you the rundown
No,
of...
no, I wasn't paying attention.
Okay,
To
got
the
it.
elves!
To the elves! Excellent. This, and you see Merlin, though, now looks a bit... not guilty, but you see he's not sure how to say something.
So,
What did he do?
Well, you have a good quest. I might have to. I let a lot of things pile up when I was first in a coma, and then I was incarcerated by Morgana, and then I was dead, and then I was on a different plane, and now I'm here. I have a lot I think I need to do. And it's hard to explain, but, well, you know that feeling when you run into an old friend, and that old friend, you used to be, like, as thick as thieves, and then, you were, like, best friends, and then you were wild lovers, and then they tried to murder you, and then you had to imprison them for time and all eternity, and then you were knocked unconscious and sent to isles to sleep in a coma, and then the friend comes back and is trying to take over the world again, and then you have to go back to the friend, and there's a lot of emotions. What I'm trying to say is, I need to tie up a lot of loose ends, and not all on this plane of existence.
totally.
I don't know if you can help. More like, Jim, my mind is not what it once was. I am a very, very fractured person. And I mean that quite literally. My consciousness is split across every known multiverse and reality. Every Merlin is speaking at the same time in the same place. I see things in 20 different realities at once. When I die, it's almost a blessing, because then I no longer see. I simply don't exist in one. But, I've got a lot of... I gotta work on myself. I gotta work on the world. You have my amulet. You can call me in dire need. I shall try to be there as soon as possible. But, let alone you must take great pains not to be found by Michael or Lucifer and their armies to break that seal. I must make sure I am prepared for what is coming. So, before I go, I guess, you see he starts giving, like, weird little head pats to all of you. Do good. Keep fighting the good fight. I think, the original author said something to the akin of, and if we fall together. Or maybe he was talking about his lacrosse team, but it's something to that effect. Yeah, RJ.
As he goes to pat me, I'm gonna like take a sniffle, and then go to hug him and try one more time to steal from him.
I knew you were. Yeah, go for it.
The most RJ moment.
The most RJ thing to do. Merlin, no.
That's a 14.
No.
Was it a nat 20 or a...
It was a
No, there's a 14.
synthetic 14. I love it. RJ, you quickly dip your hand in. You start feeling a lot of things, quickly realizing, like, oh my gosh, all of his pockets might be pocket dimensions. There's, like, you're almost getting a quick overload of, like, what couldn't I take? I'm going to quickly roll a d6. Awesome. You, will be able to grab something.
Ooh.
You feel, it's just a shoe. It's just a straight up sneaker. Supreme, there you go. Here we go. This is you quickly realize a wand of magic missiles. It's got all 7 of its charges. As you pull back, though, RJ, you see Merlin just goes, yes, very well. Good luck to you all. And he looks at you, RJ, holds up a ring, and when you come for the best, you gotta prepare for the best. And he teleports away. He is taking your ring of evasion with him.
Son of a...
As you were going for the wand, and Merlin went, heck yeah, let's do this. Basically just a swap out. You have all the rest of your rings. Yeah, Merlin didn't rob you. It was just that, like, you gotta reach in my pocket, I'm gonna take that. Just a swap.
Lol.
Kill him.
I'm gonna kill him with the wand of magic missiles.
Welcome to Merlin.
Merlin.
That's what you get for being greedy.
Merlin is the most chaotic entity I think I've ever encountered, let alone made up in my mind.
I feel like he's your Arthur Export.
Very much so. I see when Brennan has his Arthur Export, like, I'm going to kill the god of the sun, and I like look at Merlin like, I put myself into a cake, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I see it. It's you got to have one, right? There's always got to be someone.
Like the sun across the sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I need to get the astroclave, whatever thing, identified.
Yes. Claire can now help you
yeah.
with that. She's got her spell slots back.
She's
RJ.
a sorcerer, so I won't steal from her. If she was a wizard.
Yes. Well, I should say, because Claire is actually a sorceress. This is all pretty innate magic that she has been cultivating ever since she got kind of ganked by Morgana, and it unlocked the ability for her to really start doing what she needed to. Well, I should say, sorceress, she did take Magic Initiate Wizard for Identify Shield, some other stuff.
I guess. RJ now has a beef with wizards.
RJ, every time, man, all the wizards just gotta kill on sight. Like, don't wait for an answer.
I wish to kill all wizards.
Yeah, that's when we are shunted to an alternate reality. We're like, all right, how do we fix this? Claire will help identify this astrolabe. Looking at this, you see, goes, well, interesting. She kind of like is picking, and you see her eyes are like flashing slow purple circles. This is a marvel. Where did you find this?
It's mine.
So I'm not, Dad. I'm just.
I stole it rightfully from Morgan. May she rest in pieces.
Yeah, may she slowly dissolve and ooze forever. But this is not from Morgana, or I guess I should say this is old. As far as my identify is, we're looking at a piece of early technology, maybe 3,000, 4,000 years old. That's around the start of civilization. But it is magic, or, well, you see, she points, there are ancient runes, what we would call ancient Arabic, Sumerian, the very, like, Sanskrit writing on the side.
My own amulet. Not like yours.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do you? No.
She goes, it can be magic. It's not right now, but this is a really cool astrolabe. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to lead to, but when it's attuned with the proper pieces, it looks like it... Well, I assume whatever it leads to would be as old as the world. I mean, look at it.
New quest.
New quest.
For the elves. New quest.
Quick, to the elf. No elves, no trowel. We gotta follow the glow. The astrolabe.
We gotta find the thing to get the thing that's as old as the thing.
Boxes and boxes and boxes. So yes, you see Claire goes, yeah, as far as I can tell, it should be some form of, I guess we could call it divinatory magic, something to find things, but it's missing a piece. Or I guess missing isn't the right word. It's complete, but it's meant to have something put into it maybe like as a lodestone or a compass needle, right? And she points out it's easy enough to tell, like, yeah, something can connect inside, maybe like the size of like a stone's worth, something in there that could then complete whatever this item is.
You know, if I had a nickel for every time August as a DM gave one of my characters a magical compass that could point to different things, I would have like 5 nickels at this point. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that one of those compasses happened 4 different times, and now this one is here as well.
That's very fair. I'll give you that. I'll give you that one. Take your nickels.
I'm adding silver to my...
Yeah, go ahead. Sure. It's just click. So Claire figures that out about the astrolabe for you guys.
Cool.
Wait,
so we need
everybody check your items to see if we have anything that matches this description.
I pull out every single shiny thing I have and just start, like, jamming it. But I start with the key to Troll City.
Start with the key.
I put it back.
RJ, you go through a lovely little montage of shoving things into the astrolabe and just like seeing if they click or fit. At one point,
like
I think
nursery with the shape blocks.
I
The
think
square hole.
where does the arch go? The square hole. Now what about a triangle? That's right.
The square hole.
Square hole. That is the best video I've seen in a good while. I love that one. Yeah, I think RJ, your momentum slows down when you find yourself trying to shove a Pop-Tart into the area, and like at some point you're like, okay, I probably don't have the item right now, as I've just ruined a perfectly good Pop-Tart trying to shove it inside this weird metal contraption.
Okay, doesn't it?
Okay. So that's really cool. We need to figure out more about this. Now, I want to put this towards the group. I'm stuck on 2 things for my wish spell. The ability to concentrate on more than one spell at a time, or a strength score of 29, which is what a legendary item can give you.
Jeez.
I love both of them. Oh, honestly, in all honesty, I feel like the concentration one would probably be a really good fit.
Oh man, you know how many times in that fight with Morgana that I was going, man, I wish I could do 2 of these.
Right? Like, it's the best way to break D&D, but still in a fun way, is concentrate on 2 things at once. Because suddenly, the world's your oyster. Like, it's awesome.
But a strength score of 29.
To start
Oh.
punching.
That's what the belt of Storm Giant, not Storm Giant, the Giant thing, one of them gives you. That's a lot.
It's a really good item.
Yeah. I feel like, in all seriousness, the concentration one is a poor option just by the nature of the character. But I also love the idea of a raccoon that can hit like Metro Man.
Yeah, Metro Man level punches. What was that?
Metro Man who?
I've worked with Sam with Metro Man. He basically does have a belt of Storm Giant strength. It's not like he gets it, but it permanently has taken away one of his attunement slots, is how we flavor it, where we're like, because we can't let him like just have it. It's got to be that like you
Wait,
could
seriously?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, long story, another character died, and so Sam was like, alright, here's my next backup. And I'm like, alright, let's play with it. Yeah.
I'm gonna bring it up to Eleanor, and I'm gonna let her give her input. And we'll
Gotcha. That last, yeah, she should be here any second. Yeah, she just texted. She's, finish up rehearsal, like, just trying to log in. Cool. Alrighty.
The elves?
elves.
Yes.
Unless you wanted to, like, check in with Strickler or Blinky, you know, before heading out, like any of those last...
That's a good idea, especially with this astroglaive. Blinky might know something.
Right.
Sure.
And again, Strickler's also been around for like hundreds and thousands of years.
Yeah.
So.
He is a much older doppelganger, yeah.
Okay, so let's get them in a room together. And have them have a in-deep discussion on this item.
RJ will be
bouncing off of each other.
And the chance of any really old books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That might even know what this thing is.
Yeah, because you could go grab Strickler and, yeah, all of you just quickly pop down to Troll Market.
Because apparently we have a horngazzle.
Yeah, you're Horngavel. You get there, Strickler, like, reaches in his pocket, pats, while RJ quickly drops.
Wait.
I was gonna say, because when you go down, Strickler was looking for the Horngavel in his pocket to be like, here, I got it.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything.
He kind of, like, comes up empty-handed. I seem to have lost it in the fight.
That sucks.
That's a really important item.
She says, yes, they are.
Have you seen it?
Has anyone seen this? Check your pockets. Everyone real quick, turn them out. Does anyone know where this Horngavel could be to the keystone to Troll City? Troll Market.
He turns around and the door's just open.
Must have known we were kidding.
Must have known, right? You guys head down into Troll Market. Strickler, everyone, eventually you find yourself. Troll Market is quite the mirror of Arcadia right now. Trolls are in celebration. The Gum-Gums have been driven back. Everyone's like, this is the truly the Troll Hunter series Troll Market we know and love, right? There are beautiful lights and sounds, stinky smells coming out of different restaurants, and trolls rolling around every which way. Eventually you will find your way to Blinky's home, and you see Blinky just, Master Jim and Master Jim's compatriots! I was wondering when you were going to arrive. Come in! I've made you all what the mortals call boba. And you see he holds up like rock cups, which look like some weird sludgy tea and like straight rocks in them. He's like, apparently they're quite delicious.
Jim would love it.
Yeah, thanks, Blake.
Yeah, for Megamind and RJ, this is toxic sludge with rocks in it. Like,
I just pretend to sip on it and then pass it to Jim once he's done with his.
Oh, did I get finished this? Man.
See Blinky. Yes, quite delicious. I see why they like them.
Plant I can dump this on.
Yeah, there's like one of those weird, like, fun fungal leafy plants that you can just kind of like in the background. Yeah, so what do you want to ask Blinky and Strickler about? Or how, what do you want to start them with to, like, talk to them?
I give the same spiel, show them the book, and then I'm like, also, he has a thing that's really cool and old, if we have information or books on those.
And I hold up this Astroglaive thing and go, it's supposed to point to something, but it doesn't work with a Pop-Tart.
If you know where the arrow is.
You see, Blinky and Strickler go through a lot of different emotions. You know, you see them, like, confused, interested, intrigued, shocked, like, just kind of going through all this.
Some of the crumbs off.
Wipe. Blinky will take the book. My word, magic around the world. I've personally never had my own copy. My brother had the copy and he took it with him well, it's a long story, but this is quite wonderful. Thank you, Master Megamind. This is quite a wonderful book. Oh my, and yes, this would make sense. You see, Blinky's just loving it for the historical knowledge. You see, Strickler is kind of like sitting there, hand on chin. Yes, Magic Around the World is an ancient volume which has been passed by many hands. But if you are considering seeking after some of these items, I would suggest to be wary of elves. Personally, I've never had the misfortune of encountering them, but unless an elf needs something from you, they are quite aloof, to say the least.
Good to know.
Well, do you know of any other books that are of the same caliber or in the same series that we should also look for, or that you would know the location of, as well as what the heck is this doodad?
You see, both Blinky and Strickler both agree that Magic Around the World is a rare volume. Again, Blinky, his brother used to have one, but that was one of the books his brother took with him. Like, he doesn't have a Magic Around the World anymore. You see, Strickler, I have a bit of a personal library, but I do not believe that Magic Around the World is in my current collection. I may know an operative or two down in what we could consider Australia, or perhaps in the Asian continent, but I don't know if their Magic Around the World would prove more beneficial if it has been altered by magics. Now this, though, and you see Strickler kind of picks up the astrolabe and starting to examine. This is a wonderful piece of work. 4,000 years, Miss Nunez? Kind of looks at Claire. Claire nods. I see. Well, this astrolabe does seem to be indicative of early magical technologies. Indeed, I would say this could be one of the first bits of spell work of our realm. You see, Blinky actually can't hold back his habit. It is fascinating, Master Jim. You see, spells have always adapted and evolved over the centuries and millennia. For example, right now, I could cast light, and, he does a little bit of a light cantrip using, quick flintlock light. But that is not the same way they used to light it. In fact, the first use of light very well may just have been a matchstick and a bit of lighter fluid, if that is what they had back then. But this could be what we would know as an early spell, when magics were still being introduced and refined out of the arcane mysteries of the world, where you could use technology to make up for the magic that you do not have. You see, kind of look at Megamind. I think you looking at it, it's like kind of like your tech. Like, it's how we flavor your magic. It's like it's
this could be just an old spell for locate object.
Yeah, it could be like one of the earliest locate object spells using magical components and a little bit of actual magic, right? Like, it's the dehydration gun all over again. Just like, utilize a bit of tech, bit of magic, and fire, right? You see that Blinky just says, yes, well, I could make a quick mock-up, and you see Blinky will take some measurements, do a bit of charcoal press to eventually show you guys on a piece of paper. The symbol that you're looking at seems to be a bit of a kind of not a complete crescent, but maybe similar. You see, it says, right, if we're taking it a vector on this astrolabe, it does point in, and you can see right there where it might flare out just enough, but then taper in on both ends. But it's not a true curve. It's almost like a slight bow. I would assume that I would hypothesize it would spin upon completion, where connecting the ends, it could spin around, and it would make the other moving pieces rotate and gyroscope in on itself. But, and you see in that last little mark, he finishes that little charcoal just swoop. Yes, and he holds up maybe a very weird letter C looking thing. This is what you need.
The C.
Yeah. And what is that?
That
it's the missing piece.
Is the missing piece.
Yeah. Okay. So we're just
So we need to
looking.
find something that looks like a sea, so that we can find the thing that's led to us by the thing.
Or what the thing's purpose was to think.
Correct.
Indeed.
You get it.
Hey. Oh, let's go kill some elves.
Let's go kill the elf.
Well, we don't have to kill him if we can just steal.
If you can rob them. You guys say your thanks and goodbyes, Blinky and Strickler, who of course will keep in touch. Again, sending spells are pretty handy these days, right, to keep constant communication. And you guys prepare to head northward.
As RJ's just like talking, we're all packing, getting ready, like, and I'm just, I could wish for all the chickenborn to be able to shapeshift into velociraptors at will.
That would be insane. Chickenborn that are were-dinosaurs.
Were-raptors.
Were-raptors, yeah.
Velocipaster, but they're all chickens.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, but like it won't necessarily like be something we notice.
We'll see the fruits of that.
And sure, eventually, but like it's not something I can do.
I love it.
I mean, if you're a chicken.
Velociraptor.
That is true. That is true. I'm not a chicken born.
That's true, yeah. Because the key would be... Because you don't want to accidentally make every chicken in the world also a part-time raptor. That could probably destroy the ecosystem.
I mean, if you... Citizens of New York City.
We just all
of our chicken born.
So funny.
Every member of the Union, upon joining, becomes able to shapeshift into a dinosaur equal to their challenge rating.
Oh, that's disgusting. No.
That's one of the tenets of the Union. We're going back to a purer, more natural time.
Were you a dinosaur kid?
Dinosaur.
Your dream now.
Pterodon, Pterodon, Pterodon. The best
T-Rex.
You as you guys then are prepping to leave, as you get all your stuff, Jim Lake Jr., do you want to give Claire the wish ring?
I do.
You find a time, like, as everyone is, because also something just helped, like, RJ would probably be off re-getting his stash, Megamind fueling up the invisible car, like, everyone getting ready. Jim, you would have a moment alone with Claire.
I'm sorry to be leaving again so soon, Claire.
You see, she looks obviously disappointed. She looks really sad, but you do get that, like, I know, ever since you got that amulet, you have a really big part to play in the world. And, Jim, that's just awesome for you.
I mean, it is pretty awesome, but sometimes I'd rather just have a quiet life. Stay here in Arcadia. Look for my mom. Be with you. Mostly be with you. And then I'm gonna... Sorry.
You're good. I was just gonna say how, like, Claire definitely blushes. Just like, yeah, quiet life, right? Oh, because it's totally normal here.
Oh yeah, the most normal place in the world. But, it could be. Once this is all over, I can come back. And I think I might have a way to have a life with you. just a normal life. And I'm gonna pull the ring out, and I'm not gonna drop 20 yet, but I'm gonna just kind of. Oh, sorry, I'm so awkward.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay, this ring has a wish spell. I think it might hold the key to our future together. Will you keep it for me? And when I come back, this is where he'll drop to one knee.
Yeah.
When I come back, we'll make our wish. And if you'll marry me.
You, Claire, definitely gets tears in her eyes. You see, she just, of course I will. And she lifts you out of the out of the kneeling, full embraces you, kisses you hard, just very happy as she agrees to this proposal. As you take that moment alone, eventually you see Jim walking around the corner. Toby comes up like, all right, I think the invisible car is packed, although I don't get how it doesn't run on invisible gas. And like,
weird, right?
Toby sees you, sees Claire, who's like sobbing, sees the ring, and Toby has that full like 20-second like boom, 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 boom. Wait, you did it without me, and like just kind of like runs up. All three of you, big group hug. You see Toby's like, hey, don't kill too many monsters out there. Leave some for us in Arcadia, am I right?
Oh, don't worry. I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
You
But
guys around too, man. I need you to be best man.
of course, yeah. If I wasn't, I would probably throw myself off a cliff. Kidding, but maybe. You see Toby though said, yeah, but be safe, Jim. Gives you that like just classic, just bro hug, brings you in. Just, I'm gonna miss you. Just, but this time you're not like forced to go, right? Like you'll come back.
Yeah.
This is better than last time. And you realize he's wiping away a lot of tears.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss you too. You
Um,
guys take care of my mom, okay?
You see, he says, yeah, of course, and I'm gonna... Arg and I are working on some better defense systems for Arcadia, and it'll be a great place when you get back.
Good. Hey, when I do come back, I'm gonna take you guys on a tour of New York City.
You see Claire goes, the chicken town?
Honestly, it's pretty sick.
See, Toby's ecstatic because Toby is very intrigued by what chicken economy is. And specifically, do they have chicken video games?
At this point, probably.
They would.
They
Holy
would.
bitch.
Anyway.
Heck yeah. In which case, as you all get into the invisible car, prepping to head off, that's where we're going to take our quick 5-minute break for tonight. We will then be back in about 5 minutes here, and I will see you all then.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Thank you all so very much for being patient through the break. And yes, welcome L as Puss in Boots. Remember L to update your Puss in Boots character to level 8.
You will be shadow banned from this.
We're gonna shadow ban you from the Discord server for over emojiing.
That's a message.
Awesome. So yes, Jim Lake Jr. after a very sweet proposal time with Claire, the rest of you, yes, 8. Yes, 8. You guys all pack up and prepare to head out of Arcadia and up the northwest coast towards the elves. Valinor, the city of the elves, from what you know, or Blinky could show you in books, lies at the farthest point. It is a port city far, far north in what we would know as the Arctic, like top of Canada. It's more towards the Alaska side of Canada, if we're being honest, but that region. With everything being ready, I will say, though Claire and Toby are staying behind, let alone, of course, Claire holding on to that ring, Toby being here to just help protecting Arcadia, because the shadows are gone, but the danger still remains. For Puss in Boots, Kitty, Softpaw, and Perito are going to travel yet a little longer with you. You see, Kitty just... Right? The world is about to go to hell in a handbag, and we need to make sure that we are ready. I personally do not trust that this Jack Horner is the last of our problems, as well as I would very much like to see some profit by the end of this adventure. And you see Burrito just like, I'm just happy to be included, guys.
I have me, and you see, like, uncharacteristically, he gets teary-eyed. He's like, I have me stupid.
Big old hugs all around. As, again, fun fact, 2 more tiny creatures are easy to put into a car, where once again, Megamind and Jim Lake Jr., you guys get the front seat with a lot of legroom, and RJ, Puss in Boots, Kitty, and Perito, you just have, like...
It is puddle on the back seat.
Right, like, you know how, like, in the back seats, there's that little, like, space between the back pane of glass on the car and, like, the seats? Yeah, like, definitely Kitty is doing that, like, cat thing where it's, like, in the, like, sunlight beam now hitting on it. Perito is doing that classic dog, head out the window, like, tongue behind. Like, everyone's just ready for this car trip. I guess before we go, for RJ / Braxton, you want to just keep hold on Wish Spell, or do you think you have a good idea yet?
So, thinking on it, I think I'm going to choose the ability to concentrate on 2 spells at once.
Yeah.
Actually, how far can I push this? Could I go 3?
It's, again, keep in mind, this is a wish spell. And it is, I never as a DM am going to try to, like, punish players for using wish spells, but it is the, like, there might be some things to, like, keep in mind in how you want to phrase it just enough. I'm never going to try to fault, like, the intention, but, like, there might be fun, like, what are fallouts of things, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But don't be greedy.
I will choose the ability to concentrate on 2 spells at once. With 0 side effects.
Alrighty. As you wish to concentrate on 3 spells at once with no side effects.
3? No, 3. Yeah, I'll take 3. Missed it 2, but okay.
Or, I thought you said 3. Excuse me. 2 spells, no side effects. I have to make a choice here real quick. As RJ, you hear a slight whistling in your ears. And I need everyone to roll me initiative.
Thatch. What did you just do?
Death just showed up.
Dang it, RJ, what's going on?
As Puss in Boots, you hear the whistle. All of you hearing this, and that's why we're going to roll for initiative, because a lot can be happening here quickly. So here we go.
I'm sorry, guys.
Guys, I may have messed up.
I'm trying to use my wish spell.
Nat 13 plus 4 for me.
All right, Megamind 17. Love to see it.
Have we had a long rest?
Yes, you did get a long rest in. Here we go. Jim Lake Jr., you got 9. Okay, pretty middle. RJ, that's a nat 1. Oh, you love to see it and you hate to see it. Puss in Boots, that's a nat 1 as well. Both of you with the nat 1s, with your +5s there. Oh my gosh. Here we go. I have rolled as the thing you guys all will notice as the whistling fades away is as you are all standing here by the car, right? Like, because again, you're getting ready, you're packing in, everyone's getting their stuff ready. You hear a sudden thud. Megamind is lying face down in the asphalt. And Puss in Boots, you see clearer than most Death standing over Megamind. As
What?
Death looks up. He was so close, amigo. 1 for 2. But unfortunately, and you see Death is now holding both the wish scroll and the wish ring. Unfortunately, your friends did not pass the test according to his gamble. As a bit of insight, Megamind played a game with Death for a gambling game. Pendant on, and Death will explain, should his friends make unselfish wishes, then he could keep his life. But if they made a selfish wish, then they would die.
You're telling me we're screwed from the beginning because RJ had it?
It's just, that was the game. Megamind proposed the gamble. Death planted these 2 items. They were never true wish spells. They were to see what you guys would do. And I kind of made rolls by my screen. It could have gone to any 2 of you. It could have been Puss in Boots and Jim. Could have been Jim and RJ. Could have been RJ and Puss in Boots. Basically, couple random wish spells. See what you guys would
Are you
do.
snatching us face off of RJ? No offense, RJ. But like...
But that's why actually I was worried when Alicia, you said for Jim Lake Jr., oh, but I could wish to be human. I'm like, that technically is a selfish wish. It's not a bad wish, but that was the gamble. This is where why I'm having us enter initiative is because a lot can happen still, but Megamind has just collapsed as when the wish is made, Death took the soul. Megamind has just collapsed to the ground.
That's wild.
Megamind, you then start our initiative by not starting.
No, don't go.
But we will see. We will see, because a lot could happen in a couple rounds. I want to let you guys have a bit of freedom to act on this. So, Jim Lake Jr., you are next to act in the initiative order as you see Megamind fall to the ground, Death standing behind, fading from view.
I don't. I am a paladin.
You could kill Death.
Death is gone already.
No,
He
Death
is
disappeared.
fading, like as he was
Puss
here.
is the only one who got the explanation, I think.
Yeah, Puss got the explanation.
Can I delay the information?
Yeah, I'll allow that quickly. Yeah, so we're
With
not like.
a few cuss words pointed towards RJ of like he doesn't represent us all.
Well, but that was the thing.
You would have done the same.
It wasn't about if it's good or evil. It wasn't if it was right or wrong. It's selfish or not selfish. It's
Again, he does not represent us all.
the union has many members.
Onion, their strength. Okay. I think the most I could do would be to lay on hands.
No, he's dead.
But is he like dead?
He's dead.
He's dead.
Like, not like past death saving
Hey,
throws.
DM, I have some shenanigans.
On your turn. That's why I had you guys roll initiative, because I know everyone's gonna have a lot of ideas they want to try, but initiative's the fairest way I know right now to like in this next, because there are ways to make this not permanent, but like it's on a tight timer and we're gonna make it fair with an initiative.
Use compelled duel on death.
I don't know if I want to use compelled duel on death.
Use compelled duel on death.
Could keep death here.
True.
I want that ring back.
Yeah, but then you have to.
This is mine. If it was ever even real in the first place.
Rude.
Yeah, but if you compel duel
away
with
a
that,
man's
you'll have to
engagement
fight
ring.
that.
Hey, it's close with that ring.
You took away a man's engagement ring.
Hey, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what I'm doing.
I know. No worries.
Alright, whatever. The best I can do is compelled duel.
Excellent. You cast Compel Duel. What is his saving throw, and what is the DC?
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
15.
Yeah.
Alrighty. This is a flat roll. He does have a much higher wisdom save. Just to let you know, there is about a 10% chance this works. 15, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I have to check something. Yeah.
You might have rolled low enough.
The DM now asks the question, did that actually work?
So you want to know what's fun? Death does not have magical resistance, which means he does not roll this with advantage. Death does not have legendary actions, as I realized when I was creating this stat block. He is an embodiment of a god. I made him more of a avatar state, still very high CR. But when I gave him his bonuses, he has a plus 13 to his save. Jim Lake Jr., against all odds, and I will take a picture because this is just cool here. I have rolled a natural 1 on Death's saving throw for Compelled Duel. And so I would love, Alicia, how do you think Jim Lake Jr. is going to get Death to stay? What does the duel look like here?
Oh.
Gotta fight for that ring
The
back.
first thing that came to mind was a dance off, but I don't know if that would be the most appropriate. You know what? I'm gonna talk to him.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna start trying to negotiate with him, because I think it is wholly unfair that he laid out a fake future for me and the girl I love that we were now banking all our hopes on. So I'm gonna try and talk to him. And I don't know exactly.
So Sean, you've just been sitting there this whole time listening to me go, what should I wish for? Going,
You're gonna die.
I'm going to die.
I have a backup character.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Is this you want to die?
Well, no, Shane and I made a win the death when we went to a secret channel. The whole point was Shane and I agreed he couldn't influence anything. He had to stay quiet. So even if people asked to pay, I had to be like, just keep it open. Keep it fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim.
Okay, I think I'll probably just summon Daylight and like, hey, not so fast.
The wolf, who is mid-turn, mid-fade, stops, materializes a little bit. And what would you have of me, James? As you watch 2 twin scythe blades slide into his hands. Would you fight for your friend's life? Ding! And kind of like whips the ground, flash of sparks, as Compelled Duel means He is drawn to you. Disadvantage on attack rolls against anyone but you, and must make a wisdom save anytime he attempts to move to space that is more than 30 feet away from you. If he succeeds, then it doesn't limit his movement for that turn. And this is a concentration on your end. He can't end this.
Yeah.
That's what's insane. That's what I was really looking up with that spell. I'm like, there's really no way to stop this on his end besides just starting to attack you.
Right. Well, I mean, he can still try to move away.
Yes, but like,
So,
at least for this first turn, he's staying.
Awesome.
That makes Death will stay. That is Puss in Boots' turn with RJ. You're on deck. Puss in Boots, what's the vibe? What was your shenanery?
I want to do shenanery, but I don't know if my fellow players should hear.
Sorry. One more time.
I want to do shenanery, but I don't know if my fellow players should hear.
Which makes me assume that you're going to be like, no, take me.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, August, it is different than that, and I do want to talk to you about it.
All right. Here's what we can do. I'll allow briefly. We can enter my secret room.
Secret room.
I will
Secret room.
add in L real quick. There we go. You should see secret meetings real quick if you want to hop over to that channel. All right.
Here.
Yes, I am here.
Here's the thing. This is basically go pray and talk with Death. And his reasoning is, like, I've always been a lover, not the fighter. And I understand the gamble was between you and him, but he essentially being like, his life, he's not done yet.
Okay.
Right? And I hope that you'd have enough trust in me to do that. So essentially, that's what I'm doing, August. This is going to be my one and official class switch of the game. Would he allow me to become a cleric to cast Gentle Repose over and over again until I get enough levels to cast Resurrection?
I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, as I usually rule, because, like I've put precedents, I think it's fun if characters have moments of growth or change, and classes change or subclasses change. Again, Oathbreakers exist in D&D. I think it's a really fun, but how I've usually ruled them, especially like this, these are not things that can ever happen in snap moment decisions. These are things that have to be accomplished using downtime, using between sessions, using usually, of course, for the purpose of keeping the game fair. Because I don't think it would ever be fair to have a new class suddenly in the middle of a battle. Suddenly be like, and now I can do this because that sets a bad precedence. Because again, it's a one-time thing. I really think a good story arc, you're never growing more than like, at least in that sense, more than once. So I would have to say no, because if that was the goal, it's something you could not reasonably accomplish right now. Does that make sense?
Then what would I try to accomplish with Death to have Megamind back, essentially?
It's kind of up to you. That's just, thank you for asking me this one, because that's one I would have had to have just said, like, there's really no dice roll / rule mechanic for it, versus there is still stuff you can try, and there's stuff I will determine the rulings on as we come to it. In which case, let's go ahead and join the group, if that makes sense.
Okay. Okay,
Awesome.
thanks for letting me ask this.
Yep, thank you.
We're like, if anything ever happens to me...
Yeah. The entire reason why I sent the clone away and was like, hey, if anything happens, you should revive me and tell me to stay away from being heroic.
Well, gang, Puss in Boots, that specific thing won't work, but it's still your turn. What would you like to try? Again, Compel Duel against all odds. I think that's cool. That's why I am going to make sure Alicia take a point of inspiration for like managing it. That was like such a Hail Mary, and that probably has given so many more people the option to do stuff with death being here.
So, if he can be persuaded, like if he can be compelled duel, I know he can be persuaded.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and use my highest score that isn't. Oh no, it is my highest percentage. Is persuasion.
Okay.
He's not done yet. You know, in the sense of kind of pulling the he's a chosen card kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like more of this is unjust and you know it.
I mean, okay. I see
Well,
your persuasion. No, but I see what you're saying. Go ahead. Make me your persuasion check. It's going to be a high DC anyway. Go ahead, roll that electronically. And while it's rolling, this roll break is brought to you by Death. Comes for us all. It's not fair. It's just equal.
Double mint gum. Oh wait, that's Pixar.
I am pissed because it landed on a 20 and then it counted an 8. What?
Yeah, sometimes it hits the edge and then it'll be on like the main side showing like a 20, but it'll pick the...
Yeah.
That's so rude.
Yep.
I mean, and technically it was an 8 anyway. Yeah, it's just the animation gets wonky.
Yeah. The animation lies to you, making you think that you've got a 20, and then it's like, just kidding.
On a 14, you reach out, Puss in Boots. Death looks at you. Gatito, he made his bargain. It is fair because he asked it to be so. Would you ask me to reverse my decisions on all of your friends? And you see, he doesn't do it, but you realize he could say, hey, every champion who's played a game with me, let's reverse it, right? So it's not to like, he's not going to, but that expression and show of force of like, reversing a game that was played by Megamind's rules fair, I don't know if I can do that, because that's then truly not fair. As you said, again, you have some time. RJ, that is your turn in initiative.
Okay. So I'm torn. To either revivify Megamind or try to get my scroll back.
They're not even real wish spells.
They held up to an identify.
I will say they did. I could not have fooled an identify. The whole point is they were plant wish spells where before they really could work, death was waiting in the wings. So there is that concept there, RJ.
I got a backup character waiting, so play RJ like you want to play RJ.
Okay, so having been given permission,
Megamind to go though.
he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. We're just gonna get a new hero.
I guess like that doesn't mean you're gonna switch parties, Shane. Like you'll still be here, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
Okay.
That'd be wild. Like
Play
you
your
die,
character
you
like
have
you
to
would play
join.
your character.
Yeah.
Right.
That I made the bet, so
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
if he
Alright.
wanted to save me with Revivify, he could. But if he wants to go for that spell,
Hey, but
I'm not going to say he can't.
I mean,
Huh?
yeah, maybe we could potentially.
Oh my gosh.
I have an idea. If people want to hear my idea, it's Eleanor metagaming a little bit.
What's the idea?
How dare you?
Using a wish spell, hear me out, selflessly to then prove to, Death he's not a selfish person, giving me and Jim the ability to learn Revivify. Paladins can know Revivify.
So why don't you
Wait,
guys just learn Revivify by leveling up?
Oh my gosh, I literally don't have that.
Well, no, and this is basically giving it as a free, no revivify. Boom. Like, if it's, I think the revivify is a higher level. So if it's just like, you can now cast revivify.
But if he wants to go for that scroll, you wouldn't do it in a way that would benefit not himself.
Oh, like RJ wishing for us to be able to cast Revivify.
Yeah. Just meant that, like, he didn't know that was on the line. I don't know.
I mean, I could.
You do what you do.
I'm going to try to steal the scroll.
I mean, RJ has another turn to Revivify.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In
If I
theory,
don't
you
die,
have
then
10 rounds.
I got a backup character too. It's fine.
Oh, you do. That's right.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong?
Actually, do I want that? This is going to go really poorly. I have an animal. I'm proficient in animal handling. Could I convince Death that he's a good boy and give me the scroll?
Hey, Braxton.
Good boy. Drop it. Drop it.
I gotta say, I admire your tenacity. I will give you a point of inspiration if you're willing to do it.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I would like an animal handling check. Now, I will point out, Death has embodied himself in the form of a wolf. Death is an eldritch god. He is a primal concept. At his core, he's not an animal. But if you're going to use animal handling, I would love for you to try it. I'll give you a point of inspiration for the sheer, like, I'm an animal. He's an animal. Animal. And just go for it. Full set. I love it.
Can I give my guidance?
Yeah, you can use guidance. Because, yeah, it's a big action. But, yeah, here's guidance.
Ooh, love it.
Laughing too hard, I can't.
So that is a 19.
A 19 is really good. As what does RJ, the animal, what does that look like trying to animal handling convince Death he's a good boy?
I will do something very foreign to RJ and selflessly pull out some jerky from the Pringle can of holding and be like, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Drop the scroll.
Oh my gosh. You do so as you look. Death stops as Death, red eyes boring into Jim Lake Jr.
Stare Death in the face and tell him he's a good boy and drop it.
Death turns, looks at RJ.
It's established that RJ has no fear of death.
It's true. And you realize in this moment, Death knows that. You see that lupine grin appear. Oh. Noble little raccoon. I commend you for your cajones. But, and you watch a scythe comes down within inches of your whiskers. I am not one to be bartered with. As,
Wait, what did Braxton roll?
19 synthetically.
Hey, you know I haven't chosen anything for level 8. Choose a feat. I could choose the feat Lucky. And I could, in fact, let you re-roll.
Puss in Boots, do you really want to sync Lucky? You really want to do that?
Honestly, I feel like
Lucky's a good feat to have.
character-wise And it's a good one to have.
It is
if you
Puss
let
in
me
Boots.
have
Puss
it.
in Boots is a lucky cat. You know, you convinced me.
For that.
You want to give a lucky point?
Let's point.
All right.
Okay.
Well, you have 3 of them and an inspiration, so.
3 and an inspiration. Here we go, RJ. Because you get to keep the guidance. You just get to re-roll your D20. So the 4 guidance stays.
Okay. Let's see, skills.
It's still gonna have to be stupid.
That's a 25.
25 plus 4 guidance is
So
29.
a 29.
Wow.
Having beat the DC 28 I set in my mind, you see Death, having embodied a wolf,
Just
for
wiggle it
half
one
a
more time.
second. You wiggle.
You just see
Jingle,
the
jingle, jingle.
slightest tail twitch.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
Slightest tail.
Vroom, 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 vroom. He is going to do 2 things at once. Death lets go of the spell scroll, grabs the jerky, and like a dog that just realizes what it's doing, like when a dog's tasting shell stops, Death's paw is hovering above the jerky and has stopped. That's incredible. You
Holy
tried,
crap.
it worked.
You get a point of inspiration, my guy.
That's a point of inspiration because it actually worked. Well done.
Wild.
That's insane. As RJ, what a turn. What an amazing round that was. That's insane.
What the heck do this episode of The Union and their complete inability to take anything serious?
The Union. Megamind's dead, and the Union's in there like, here, boy. Here, you want the jerky? You want the jerky? Jingle, jingle, jingle. And just throws it. I have to now very fairly say Death is gonna take a legendary action. With everything now happening.
Is his turn over, though?
RJ's turn
I
is
use-
be over.
I still have a bonus
Oh
action.
my gosh.
And movement.
I'm just gonna just sweep the scroll behind me.
Sweet. Just object interaction. Scoot, 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 scoot.
And then revivify. I should look at that.
Revivify, yeah. How's that one work?
Oh, as an afterthought, maybe I'll revivify my friend.
Oh,
Right.
it's an action. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Next round.
Can you cast the wish spell with
Well, casting the wish spell would also be an action as well.
well, then run away.
Yeah, then just
Yeah, no,
run.
he's not gonna wish for you to come back to life.
Death.
I want to ask if Megamind,
I know that.
like we know Shane's watching, but I want to know if Megamind's seeing this thing, how much we are trying to make sure that, like, he is here, he is our friend.
You won't know until he's up. Death will take a legendary action and
No.
use a legendary cause fear spell. I need RJ, Puss in Boots, and Jim Lake Jr. To please make me a wisdom saving throw.
If you're within the M push, you get pluses.
Oh, because you're all together,
what-
yeah.
what-
I think
Plus 4 from me.
+4 from Jim Lake Jr. and +3 from Puss in Boots. So all of you add 7 to this.
Synthetic 20.
7. That's a 30.
Lol.
27.
27, 30, and 20. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. The
We don't
DC...
fear death.
They just saw him act like a good boy. They're not afraid.
The DC
We're like, oh.
was 23. So RJ's
Okay.
technically the only one that failed. RJ, you now have the fear, the frightened condition.
Just out of spite, I'm going to use my point of inspiration to reroll that.
Yeah! Spite.
Let's see. That becomes a 15 plus it's still 22. Dang it.
Alright.
Is that plus the aura?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's plus.
I rolled poorly both times.
Yeah, I feel that. So RJ, and we flavor is like, I'm not afraid of death, but these are big sights that could, like, hurt. It's not like, maybe I'm not afraid of dying, but afraid of being,
That's
like,
a little far.
like, gouged in the chest is not something I'm prone for. As death legendary action causes fear, we return back to the top of the order with Death's turn. As Death stops, he kind of like stretches up to his full height, lets the cloak fall away, looks at you, Jim Lake Jr. A gamble for your friend's life. Toom, 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 toom. Whipping the scythes back and forth, creating sparks. He will make 3 scythe attacks against you.
This is really bad.
This is really bad. Jim Lake Jr., you have a 21 AC. First attack, that's a synthetic 30. Second attack is an 18, synthetically. Miss. Third attack is a synthetic 17. Miss. So he only hit on one of these, but let me...
The synthetic 30 wasn't a natural 20? No.
Oh, no, it wasn't. The synthetic 30...
That's right.
Oh, if you're curious, he has a plus 14 to his attacks. I rolled a 3 and a 4 for his 2 attacks. Like, you got very lucky there. Here we go. His attacks, man.
Yeah.
You gotta know, Jim, I haven't looked at Death's stat block in a year. I made this at the beginning of this campaign, right, when this was all going through. Here we go. The target is hit with this attack. Oh, you need to make me a wisdom saving throw, Jim Lake Jr., after getting attacked.
1 second, sorry.
No worries.
Okay, good boy. Yeah, he was making choking faces. Okay, sorry.
When your dog just starts going...
And sometimes he is not smart. Okay. Hi, yeah. What about you? Hey, hi.
Alrighty.
Anyway, thank you.
Yes.
I'm good now.
So here is
He's not choking.
new wisdom save. You still have a plus 7. Because, again, you guys are all linked up.
Wisdom save.
Oh, that's good.
That's another synthetic 30.
Jim Lake Jr., you are a man on a mission. Boom! Synthetic 30. You do not take the extra psychic damage nor fear condition in this case, but you will still take the natural damage.
Oh, hang on. Death is a hostile creature within 30 feet of me.
Freaking heck! Okay. Okay. Death now has vulnerability to fire damage, because he is hostile within 30 feet of you. He is not an evil creature, as Death technically is a true neutral, is how I put his stat block. It's Death, right? Like, can Death technically be good, evil, chaotic, lawful? Yeah. So he is not vulnerable to radiant, but he will be vulnerable to fire. With that aura you've got, thanks to the feat you took. And Death will deal you 16 points of slashing damage, Jim Lake Jr., just from the scythe itself. But thanks to success on the save, you don't take any additional psychic damage, fear condition, as boom, scythe hits you and you just take some damage. That is Death's turn as he just breathes in. Oh, I cannot wait to take you all with me. I have been staving myself off from you champions, so your deaths are just that much sweeter. As Death will finish his turn, Jim Lake Jr., that is your turn. Please make me a...
Death finishes the turn. He takes the d6 of fire damage
Crap.
for existing.
Yep, thanks to that fire going on, he will take... That's 4, and thanks to that vulnerable... Death takes 8 points of fire damage just from attacking Jim Lake Jr., basically. Gosh, you'll love to see it. Jim Lake Jr., this is an insane fight. You gotta know. I do need, though, a quick DC 10 Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Once again, though, I believe you have a +7 automatically from your auras.
You're going to need that +7.
So that's a +14. So that's a
16.
Excellent. You succeed. Compel Duel is still up. And again, it looks like Death may be here both with Compel Duel and both without. You're not entirely sure maybe what his dealio is yet. As you...
We've annoyed him enough, he wants us dead.
Right. He's willing to attack. So, Jim, you... it is your turn. Death is for sure still staying here then.
Okay, cool. I didn't think this far ahead.
Fight death. Do not go quietly into that good night.
I mean, fair enough, I guess. Ooh, hang on a minute. I have... What is that? Is it Searing Smite?
Ooh. If you have...
That deals fire damage?
Fire damage.
Oh my gosh. I forgot you had that.
I'm gonna bonus action cast Searing Smite.
Kills death.
And then I'm going to attack with daylight.
Excellent. Yeah, Searing Smite, next time you hit it, your weapons deal another d6 of damage, which that becomes 2d6 thanks to that vulnerability.
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not hit.
I have 2 attacks though.
Yeah,
you got 2.
Smite goes up under next.
Yeah.
Yeah, thankfully, yeah, the smite...
Oh my
How
god.
does this roll better?
That was a natural 1.
No, that was a 7.
Wow.
7.
Oh,
That's a 7. The 1 is right next to it. So
Yeah.
17.
oh okay.
A 17
17.
still technically misses right now. As you... Doom, doom, doom!
Lucky one?
Oh? Puss in Boots? Lucky, perhaps?
It's fine.
You gonna use it, Eleanor? Reroll.
Okay, thank you.
You're fighting death. You may as well.
I mean, fair enough. Is that okay for you to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually how Lucky works. Lucky is just a...
Does a 29 hit?
A 29 does hit.
Sweet.
My
Alright,
gosh.
all that damage. And then... What is my Searing Smite damage?
Searing Smite is d6. That will double, of course.
Okay, so that's 6 fire damage from the Searing Smite, I doubled to 3, and then 12 from the Sword of Daylight.
Jim Lake Jr. Boom! Sliding off against you, bring the weapon down in a harsh arc and rip Daylight upwards against Death. Your sword blade connects with Death's chest and cuts the fur, leaving behind emptiness and void. As Death leaps back a foot or 2 on his haunches, touches himself, the fur already kind of receding back. He's not healing, but just that, like, fixing himself. Ah, I forgot you have one of those blades, amigo. That is very good. You have a chance of actually hurting me before I kill you. Jim Lake Jr., at the end of your turn, Death's going to take a legendary action. And
Awesome. He's also on fire now.
Yeah, he's on fire.
Oh my gosh, right. Gosh dang it. So on his turns, he will take more fire damage. Flame is grody. I love it. It's fun.
The fire and flames.
Yep. So now he takes damage just because he's on fire and also just because he's a hostile creature existing within 30 feet of me.
You decided to exist. Hurt. That is so cool, Jim. He is going to definitely then attack you with another scythe attack. As he does so, let me quickly...
If he knocks you unconscious, do you then get to play a game with him?
You'll find out.
I have no idea what to say.
Here we go. That is a synthetic 28 to hit. Jim, I need a...
Rob, let go. Bad dog. Sorry.
No worries. Ooh, that's high damage. I do need a wisdom save as he slashes at you for 17 points of damage this turn.
Nasty.
That was better than last time.
28.
Did really fast math.
So you got...
Yeah.
That's
easy stuff. Once again, no extra psychic or fear stuff going on, just slashing at you. Puss in Boots.
17 points.
17.
Thank you.
Puss in
So
Boots.
at this point, we need to decide whether or not we're joining in on this fight against death.
That is your turn, Puss.
So, Puss has been in a situation like this. And the only way that you get out is if you put him into a gridlock. Essentially, checkmate it. Right?
Wait, clap. Guys, Searing Smite's a concentration spell. So is Compelled Duel.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry.
Compelled Duel was a drop.
Yeah, I can't do both of those things
Okay,
at the same time.
so he is no longer compelled to fight you. But that might be a good thing, might be a bad thing.
He's still fine.
So basically, Puss is giving this advice to Jen, there's nothing against talking, right? So it's I've been in this before, you just need to checkmate him. You don't need to murder him. You gotta get him to a place where he can't attack. Basically getting to a point where you can grapple him so he cannot make an attack against you. Right? And that's considered the end of a duel, right? It doesn't have to be to the death, right? At least that's what Bruce learned in the movie. But the thing is the scroll is on the ground, right?
RJ snagged it, didn't he?
RJ has yet to pick it up. He pushed it behind him, but he's yet to, get it.
Great. Who's going to get it?
Hey, no, that is mine.
Get it.
That is mine.
Get it.
As I can
come on.
While Death's back is, basically, it's in a way we've outsmarted him and checkmated in this duel of our friend's life. Sorry, Megamind. And I'm going to move the queen right next to that king and essentially checkmate and revivify.
I have Revivify. I'm going to cast that on my turn. You don't need to use the Wish Scroll.
Oh wait, the Wish Scroll is the Revivify Scroll.
No, it's a Wish Scroll.
No, it's a Wish
Scroll. To it, little man.
Off to it. Puss in Boots, what am I doing here? Throws the scroll in anger.
My Wish Scroll.
Gosh, can I?
You have the Wish Scroll.
A mean DM would say, well, technically Puss is now downcasting it. Uh-oh. No, I would not do that.
Thank you. Because in theory, if it's supposed to work, will we know it works when Death leaves?
Maybe. Jim Lake Jr. has started fighting Death, right? That's a maybe.
So, it sounds like such a... I didn't mean to call it bad use of a wish, but potentially, because I'm not using the sentence. I'm not using is what if I make it null and void, like Megamind's contract to death, of like it is now null and void, no party, like Megamind gets his body back, Death doesn't receive anything, and all parties can leave. It's essentially kind of Mexican standoff thing of like, and we're all good, and we're all gonna walk away.
Got
right?
it.
Good.
So just so I understand, and again, you're not actually doing this. It's the idea of what if we use a wish real quick to say, and there was no contract. Megamind's alive. You're not gonna attack Jim. RJ's not in trouble. No one's in trouble. Basically, just saying like, done.
Good. Because also we don't know if the wish spell's even gonna work after that's attention.
No,
The DM has said it's an actual wish scroll.
Yeah.
And it is something I have been really wanting. And I stood up to death to get it back.
And you killed me for it.
And you killed Megamind for it.
I have revivified twice. I can at least
So
try
then,
that.
DM, I guess maybe. Oh, this sounds so bad to say like a held action, but it's Cliff is going to use that threat to RJ of you get him up now, or I'm using this spell.
Okay.
But in the sense of like role playing wise, RJ has been that troublemaker, so now it's the consequence and action of I am now like we're not banning you, suspending you from the union, but you better get your.
This is your Jim moment with the serum. If you don't bring Megamind back, you're in trouble, mister. No, I think that's...
You're in trouble, mister.
Yeah, it's more of a roleplay moment, but yeah, it's because just, as you guys have talked about...
Basically, it sounds bad to say my turn is to grab the wish scroll. But, yeah, you're gonna try this for my cold dead partner.
Held action just in case. I like it.
Yep.
In which case, that will be Archie's turn.
I cast Revivify on Megamind.
Megamind, you are up at 1, my guy.
I
Yay!
put out my hand for the scroll while now Jim is fighting death.
Jim is dead. Fix this.
Point.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
My scroll.
No, you're being put in the proverbial timeout until you fix your mess. Until you clean up your mess.
Then wait for my next turn.
Alright. Here, as RJ holds out his hand...
Oh. What was that?
No hard feelings. Yeah, Brad? Eleanor to Brad. Okay.
Go back.
RJ will kill you. But Rex, yeah, okay.
RJ hates your guts, but...
As Megamind revives, Death will take, at the end of RJ's turn, his last legendary. And...
Kill me again.
Kill. I think he is going to... because...
You just give him the piece of jerky and we can all walk away safely.
Just snatches the jerky out of RJ's hands and pouts away.
Death is gonna do one thing. Because he does have Mage Hand. I forgot that. Is he could technically take the scroll. He is not gonna take the scroll. He's gonna do something else. Death is choosing in this moment to legendary action, make a disarming attack against Jim Lake Jr. So he's going to roll to hit. That is a synthetic 31. Jim, I need you to make me
Silvery barbs.
Oh, yeah! Megamind's back up!
Yeah, baby.
Hey, you love to see it. Here we go. Silvery Barbs, he'll roll with disadvantage. Ah, rats.
He still might get a 30.
That was a...
Negative bark?
That was...
Oh, wait, no, I already used my reaction.
Yeah, because Silvery Barbs is what... still a synthetic 24. I need... oh, it is disarming, because it's a disarming attack. Jim, Death knocks your blade out of your hand, skids to the ground behind you, and will... let me roll the damage for this. That is 13 points of slashing damage. No wisdom save on this one, because again, instead of choosing to what's called a fear strike, it's kind of classic, it's a legendary action to hit you to just knock your weapon out, a disarming strike. As he does so, he is going to knock out and place both sides right on the sides of your neck, Jim. Death will lean in. As that was his legendary, Death will take his turn. Megamind, you're on deck. Death leans in. The next time. Oh my gosh! Wait, right! 2d6 fire, because 1d6 from the aura, 1d6 from being on fire. That's already... I just rolled 2 6s. That's 12.
That's 24 points of damage.
24. You have done a total of 52 points of damage to Death. He is
everything about that.
Just now starting to look a teeny bit hurt. As in this horrifying image of a white wolf, flames licking up the sides of his cloak, looking you dead in the eye, Jim Lake Jr., as he places his scythes on either side of your neck. The next time you wish to fight against your death, James, know that I will be waiting for you. As Death will take his turn and simply vanish.
Oh, while he's talking, can I, reach in my vest, pull out the hard drive, and then I'll, walk up to him before he disappears and then hold it out to him? Because that was also part of the bargain.
Yeah. You do so. Megamind, Death lets go. The sides kind of slink back into his... I almost said shoulders. His costume, right? Sides disappear. Death will turn and pick up the hard drive. Next time you will not be so lucky. As the hard drive and Death disappear from view. But RJ, you and Puss in Boots have the wish scroll with you as we come out of initiative.
Okay, so before we get to that, I turn over to, Megamind, and I'm like, are you okay? Do you need a snack? Water? Can we talk about what just happened?
I made a bet, hoping that some people had become better people, and it was basically a bet on whether or not someone would be selfish or someone would be unselfish. I didn't get to pick who it was, and I guess somebody failed, and somebody made the right choice. So I think that scroll goes to Jim.
Neutral party. What do
For
you
that
think?
ring that was used selflessly.
Because, Megamind, you did in fact see all, so to speak, is when you died, you not only saw your friends fighting, you did get those images in your death of what happened. You would have gotten that, even though you weren't there for Jim's proposal and RJ's decision, it's that, because, Death is fair. He's not going to be well, just trust me that they did it. It was not like, okay, here's the proof.
I will say, as a player, that kind of sucks. And I would like my spell scroll.
I would like my spell scroll, please.
That I risk my character's life for.
That was Megamind.
Yeah.
But you can
Well, the
fight
thing
for
is,
it.
Who's, you know, he kind of just goes. The thing is I know in RJ stole this, but if we are going for neutral parties, and you know, he kind of looks at it and he goes, "I am not the perfect cat. No one is perfect, but Jim has the best mind out of all of us, and I hand him this book."
Jim can do with it what he wants. If he wants to give it to you, RJ, then
That's his
you can
choice.
have it.
This is very.
I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah, Megamind's like, I'm out.
It's like, I'm washing my hands of this.
But I would have used my scroll to turn myself back into a human. My scroll, my wish. I don't see my wish as any less selfish.
Well,
No,
death
the
is...
thing is, in the end, you
The
were
next
not.
breed.
And, I mean, Merlin owes me a couple wish spells anyway.
It's true.
And Claire loves me for who I am. We'll find a way to make it work. I'm just gonna kind of toss RJ the scroll and walk away from the group for a little bit. Jim is still heartbroken.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit upset at Megamind.
I look over at RJ because it looks like we're the last two left, and I go, you know, I would have straight up given you the scroll, but I'm biased. You're biased. I wanted it for myself. If it had not been for Jim there, I would have done something I probably would have regretted. So have your wish. I hope there's no bad blood between us.
It's okay.
Genuinely?
All right.
Also, the car is now locked with everyone outside of the car but me. I am
Cool.
fully taking a nap
Megamind
in the car by myself.
Click.
So on this
Click.
side of the road, I'm just going to like set up a
I
camp,
know,
and the main
Jim's gotta go
gonna
pass
start
out
doing-
somewhere.
Who's just gonna try and urge you to sleep on a cot. Basically, Who's is like, well, I could get to the trunk and my camping supplies, you know, the things that D&D players never use. And essentially is going to set up camp and in a way to try and heal bonds with, you know, not only everyone but also RJ, is he's gonna make a dang good stew. Because he has learned that food is the way to RJ's heart as well.
I love that. Actually, no, Puss in Boots, I think that's kind of fun of like, hey, if there's one thing we know RJ likes, it's good food. So the idea of make some stew. RJ,
That's cute.
you do have a 9th level wish scroll. And now you know for sure there is no stipulation attached. The gamble has already paid off. And that's kind of how it goes. Again, as you guys saw, even in your fight with Morgana, games with death aren't, I don't want to say permanent, that sounds bad, but like, you can lose your game with death, but revivifies are still a thing. There's still healings and stuff to happen. So it was possible. It just, that's why we had to enter initiative, because I'm like, so much could have happened.
Yeah.
Because, like, keeping death there allowed for the wish scroll, allowed Jim to fight. So as you guys delay your leaving just for a little bit longer so that Megamind will allow a long rest. And, hey, my guy, you're alive. That's insane. I was like...
That's true.
I wouldn't blame your character for wanting to retire. So.
Yeah, no, Megamind,
I
like...
also get a long rest.
Yes, because Jim's sitting there, like, half health, like... I got hit.
Oh, way less than that.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you got hit hard.
Yeah, one more hit and I was down, people.
Jeez. Yeah, I didn't realize that was close. I mean, death strikes.
Individual death. It was really stupid.
I was gonna say
though.
the big thing is most of his base scythe attacks have extra psychic damage if you fail the wisdom save. That's where it also really stacks. But thankfully, with 2 paladins, it's very hard to fail that. Excellent stuff. As you guys take a long rest, Puss in Boots makes food for everyone. Eventually, you will all be able to wake up then. Now, much, much later in the afternoon. Sun shining through in this in this summer day, because we're technically now into the 4th month. You guys are all able to head off northward in your search for the elves, for the trowel, and for maybe a way to continue to stave off the oncoming darkness. This is where I think we will end our session tonight. On that note, thank you all so very much for playing. Thank you all so very much for listening. And I am excited to see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Yeehaw.